Hey weirdos, it's the Destination Nightmare movie. Fiendish films for Saturday nights. Monsters, science fiction, and occasional terror. And now, here's tonight's movie.
I guess you could call me the ghost of kitchen past. I've served this household well, but last week I was retired to the garage. What bothers me is that while I'm stored, I can be dangerous to children. If a child climbs inside and closes my door, he can suffocate in 10 minutes. But I can be made safe by one of these 4 easy methods. For a free instruction booklet, write Aham, 20 North Wacker, Chicago 60606.
Mr. Yuck is mean. Mr. Yuck is green.
Home is full of lots of things that children shouldn't touch. Home is full of bad things that can hurt you very much. Now there's a man whose face is green that you ought to get to know. He'll warn you when danger's coming fast or slow. Get to know his face in every single place. When you see it, you'll know quick. Things marked yuck make you sick, 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 sick. Mr. Yuck is mean. Mr. Yuck is green.
I guess there's nothing else we can do now, except wait.
I'll wait. I'll wait as long as I have to.
It may be quite a while. I'll have to make a formal arrest when he's well enough. I have no choice.
I understand, Superintendent.
It's going to pose quite a legal problem. Who really did all these things?
It wasn't Larry. It couldn't have been Larry. It must have been something, someone else. Why did it have to happen? Why?
I don't know, Linda. He was an average sort of guy, the image of us all. How can I say this? There was good in Larry and there was evil. The evil part broke through, took hold. Call it an accident or call it a warning.
A warning?
I'm a reporter, not a mystic, Linda. But there are things beyond us, things perhaps we're not meant to understand. If what's happened has made this all clear, well then, perhaps it makes sense after all. Have faith, Linda. Have faith in the good that's still in Larry. And in all men.
Hi there, I'm the Abominable Snowman. Did you know that you are the boss of your own money? That's a special thing. You can buy the first thing that catches your eye, like this catcher's mitt, or something that costs less, like this balloon, or costs more, like this swell dolly, or several different things. Or you can save it for something you haven't even thought of yet. You're the boss, it's your choice, it's your money. So think before you spend.
Vote yes to keep TV free in your home. Don't let pay TV rob you of your free choice. You now see free baseball, football, spectaculars, movies. These and many others come to you free. You will pay for these with pay TV. The public has a right to protect itself from pay TV. If you are a registered California voter, sign the petition near the snack bar. Keep television free in your home.